The EU's proposed rules for AI may not be perfect, but they're just the start of a safer relationship with artificial intelligence. The AI Act seeks to establish and regulate the functioning of various EU and national bodies that will oversee the regulation. The draft regulation will now go through a detailed legislative process, during which it is likely to be amended. It is unlikely to become binding law for 24 months. Once it becomes binding, there will be a grace period of potentially 24 months before the main requirements will come into force. The AI Act is divided into 12 titles, of which Titles 2, 3, and I Voy are to be the most relevant, setting out the core concepts underlying the whole piece of legislation. The cornerstone of the AI Act is a classification system that determines the level of risk an AI technology could pose to the health and safety or fundamental rights of a person. The framework includes 4 risk tiers: unacceptable, high, limited, and minimal. AI systems with limited and minimal risk, like spam filters or video games, are allowed to be used with little requirements other than transparency obligations. Systems deemed to pose an unacceptable risk, like government social scoring and real-time biometric identification systems in public spaces, are prohibited with little exception. In this video, we will be focusing on unacceptable and high-risk AI systems. Unacceptable AI systems. The AI Act prohibits use of AI which are perceived as detrimental to a person's safety, livelihoods, and rights. Example of unacceptable AI systems: systems deploying manipulative or deceptive techniques, systems exploiting people's vulnerabilities, systems implementing social scoring purposes leading to detrimental or unfavorable treatments, and any AI system using real-time remote biometric identification systems in public accessible spaces. High-risk AI systems. According to the AI Act, high-risk AI systems are those used as a safety component of a product, or being themselves a product covered by EU health and safety legislation. High-risk AI systems will need to comply with specific requirements. They should implement and maintain a risk management system. They need to maintain details about the data training, validation, and testing, as well as data governance system. These need to have technical documentation to demonstrate that the high-risk AI system complies with the requirements imposed by the regulation. They have to perform record keeping to ensure a level of traceability of the AI system's functioning throughout its entire lifetime. Implement transparency to enable users to interpret the system's output and use it appropriately. They have to implement human oversight and an appropriate level of accuracy, robustness, and cybersecurity. The regulation imposes a range of obligations on providers, deployers, importers, distributors, and users of high-risk AI systems. As to providers, they are required to indicate their name, registered trade name or registered trademark, and their address and contact information on the high-risk AI system. They need to have a quality management system in the form of written policies, procedures, or instructions, and take the necessary and appropriate corrective actions in the event a high-risk AI system placed on the market or put into service is not compliant with the regulation. They have to promptly inform the national supervisory authorities of the member states in which the high-risk AI system has been made available, in the event the system presents a risk, indicating the nature of the non-compliance and of any corrective measure adopted. With regard to importers, before a high-risk AI system is placed on the market, they shall ensure that the conformity assessment procedure has been carried out by the provider. The technical documentation requested under the regulation has been drawn up and, where applicable, an authorized representative has been appointed. On the other hand, distributors shall verify that both the provider and the importer have fulfilled their obligations under the regulation. Transparency obligations. According to the AI Act, providers of systems that interact with natural persons such as chatbots shall comply with transparency obligations. They need to ensure that persons exposed are made aware they are interacting with an AI system. Users of emotion recognition systems or biometric categorization systems need to inform humans exposed to the systems and obtain their prior consent to the processing of their biometric and other personal data in accordance with the applicable EU legislation. Also, users of AI systems generating or manipulating text, audio, or visual content that would falsely seem to be authentic or truthful need to disclose that the content has been artificially generated or manipulated. Negotiations on the final text of the AI Act between the European institutions have already begun and are at an advanced stage. Once adopted, the AI Act will apply after 24 months its entry into force. The earliest will be late 2025. What is certain is that the European Union is the first in the world to have almost definitively adopted a legislation that will broadly regulate AI systems, and it would be reasonable to expect other legislators to follow the European path and to commence drafting their own legislation to regulate AI. Thanks for watching. Hope this information was useful. Please like and subscribe and press the bell icon to get new video updates.